everyone. Welcome aboard. I'm Michelle, and today we're doing yoga for commuters. And honestly, commuting creates a very specific kind of exhaustion, right? It's not quite travel fatigue, it's not quite work fatigue. It's more like this constant low level state of moving, planning, navigating, adjusting, waiting, sitting, rushing, and then maybe doing it all over again tomorrow. Over time, the body starts adapting to those patterns. The shoulders tighten, the hips stiffen, the jaw starts bracing. The nervous system stays slightly activated all day long. So today's practice is less about stretching deeply and more about unwinding repetitive tension before it settles too deeply into the body. This is your I am finally done moving for the day practice. And I think honestly, a lot of us need that. So come to a comfortable seat, take a slow inhale and an easy exhale. Maybe noticing where your body feels settled, or maybe it doesn't feel settled yet. Sometimes commuting ends physically a long time before it ends mentally. The brain keeps running schedules, conversations, notifications, traffic patterns, to-do lists, tomorrow's plans. So before we move, we're simply slowing down enough to notice ourselves again. Take another easy breath here. Allow the shoulders to soften slightly. Allow the jaw to unclench. Moving on to some neck decompression, bring the chin slightly backward. Tiny movement, and then release. And again. Commuting posture pulls the head forward constantly. We're looking at our phones or screens, we're driving, looking downward, bracing unconsciously. So we're helping the neck reorganize a little. Now slowly turn the head side to side. No forcing. Maybe noticing if one side feels tighter. It's very normal. Take another easy breath here. Coming back to center, lift the shoulders gently upward and soften them down. And again. Begin circling your shoulders slowly, forward a few times, and then back. Daily commuting tends to create chronic low-grade upper body tension, especially if you carry bags, sit for long periods, or spend time in crowded environments. Maybe notice whether one shoulder sits naturally a little higher. Bodies adapt to our habits quickly. A few more easy circles here. Great. Coming back to a relaxed posture. Open the hands wide. Now soften them again. Rotate gently through the wrists. Stretch lightly through the palms and the fingers, pressing the hands together. Commuting, we spend so much time gripping, steering wheels, our phones, our bags, our rail, handguard, keyboards. The hands rarely fully relax during the day. So we're going to give them a moment to soften too. You can give yourself a little massage here. Take another easy breath, nothing dramatic. Just release. Moving into some seated spinal waves. Hands can rest gently on the thighs. As you inhale, let the chest move slightly forward. And as you exhale, round through the spine. And again, inhale, chin comes up, chest comes forward. Exhale, softening back. Continue on with your breath. Long periods of repetitive posture often can make our spine feel stagnant more than anything. So we're simply creating movement variation again. Few more soft, slow repetitions here. Keep the movement smooth and easy. Great job. Coming back to center. Moving into a hip reset. For this, we're going to move into standing if you have that available. Bring the hands to the hips. Gently sway side to side. Next, make slow circles through the pelvis. Hips come forward, right, back, left, forward. Doesn't have to be too structured. We're just allowing our hips to move, just helping the hips to stop feeling locked into that commuting posture. Sitting tends to compress the hip flexors right here and the low back over time. So we're creating a little more mobility again. Take one more easy breath here. Slow and relaxed. Come back to center. Moving on to a hamstring stretch. I'll turn to the side for your view. Extend one of your heels slightly forward. We'll start with the right side. Heel forward, great. Hands rest on the hips or the thighs and gently hinge forward with a long spine. You should notice a nice stretch in the hamstring. If you don't feel any tension forming yet, keep the back straight and lean forward slightly more. We all have different levels of flexibility here. So find the movement that is a good balance for you between stretching and relaxation. Great. Now take a breath here and think about where you can soften in this position. Great. Inhale, come back up to standing, and we'll switch over to the left leg now. Left heel slightly forward, toes point up towards the ceiling. Leaning forward. Finding our edge here. Balance could be a little bit tricky after a long commuting day here. Sometimes it is. If you feel a little wobbly, that's okay. Just notice it. One more breath in here. Noticing where you can soften while remaining upright. Inhale, back up to standing. Sometimes dynamic movement feels more supportive than static stretching for tired bodies. And if that's the case in any of these positions, you can move in and out of it. Feel free to move with your breath. You don't have to hold it. And then slowly come back to center whenever you've finished. Next, moving on to a chest expansion. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Or if this doesn't feel accessible to you, simply place the hands beside the hips. Now gently lift through the chest, not forcing any posture, just creating some breathing room through the front of the body again. Our posture in commuting tends to collapse everything inward and forward. So we're just creating a little space in the opposite direction. Opening some in the ribs, chest, and shoulders. Speaking of the shoulders, pay some attention to them. Notice if they're beginning to creep up towards your ears, and if they are, take a breath and allow them to melt down the spine. Great. Another easy breath here. Slowly release. Great. Working on a forward fold next. This is another posture that can be seated or standing. I'll take mine standing today. Feel free to take yours seated if it's more comfortable. You can sit on the floor, the bed, the edge of a chair, whatever's comfortable for you. Allow the legs to extend long and naturally. You can bend your knees generously here so they don't have to be straight like this. Great. And then slowly begin leaning forward. If you're experiencing some trouble with balance, that's okay. You can place your hands like I have mine on my thighs. And slowly lean forward. Bending the knees as much as you need to. Once you get about halfway down, if you're starting to feel wobbly in the standing posture, check out where your feet are. Maybe heel toe them out a little bit wider. Give yourself a wider base to balance. And then just find the position where your body naturally comes to. You don't have to force anything. If you're just hanging out, as if your upper body were hanging from your hips, where would the natural stop be for you? You'll feel some engagement along the back of the legs here when that happens. And once again, no need to force anything. Bend the knees generously. The more you bend the knees, the more release you may feel in your lower back here, which can feel really great after commuting, particularly if you've been sitting a lot. Wonderful. One more breath in here. Relaxing the neck down. And on an inhale, slowly roll it back up. Can give the shoulders a nice roll at the top. Whew, got a little pop there in my neck. You know, commuting often asks our body to stay subtly on for long periods of time. We might be navigating, we might be watching, we might be planning or moving or adjusting. So the shapes we're making here are less about flexibility and more about softening. So maybe notice that your back body feels a little bit more wide than it did before. Notice how your chest feels after that nice chest opener we took. No forcing here, no performance. That's all over. This is just decompression. Now, if it's available, if you've got a wall or a block, we're going to practice legs up the wall. This can be really restorative, especially if we spend a lot of time walking. Come to lie down. And now just take a moment here and let yourself relax. Let yourself be supported by the ground. You did all of that good work today. You got where you were going. You did your best. You did what you needed to do. And now you're here and you deserve a little moment. The rest is something you can put on your to-do list also. It's important to take rest. Once you've settled, bring one heel up towards the ceiling and then the next. So legs up the wall pose. Pretty self-explanatory here, very simple. It's not anything you can mess up. So you're just holding your legs up. Now experiment here with how far forward or how far back your legs are. You might notice that if the heels drift forward away from you, that requires a little bit more core engagement. What we're trying to do here is let the blood flow in the opposite direction, but we're not working our abs today. So bring the legs in until you don't feel that core engagement anymore. We're looking for a balance between soft and strong here. So we want just enough effort and tension to hold the legs up above us, but no more than that. How little can you try? How much tension can you release? It might feel good to rotate the ankles here, maybe one direction and then another, pointing and flexing the feet. At this point in the video, you might think, I should have changed into my exercise clothes. It's okay. Whatever you're wearing is fine. Great. One more breath in here. And on an exhale, bring the feet back down. And we'll come back up to a seat. Oh, commuting can often leave the lower body feeling heavy and overstimulated at the same time. So the legs up the wall shape can feel incredibly regulating, and it's one of my go-tos for relaxing. In fact, at that point, if you want to just turn the video off and fall asleep with your legs up the wall, you're perfectly welcome to. I've done that before. You can try placing one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly. So just experiment with what works for you and what's comfortable. If you've joined me back in a comfortable seat, we'll just take a moment Allow the body to stop working so hard. Take another easy breath. Allow your exhales to become slightly slower. We're not working to achieve relaxation. We're just allowing support. Take a moment and notice how the body feels now. Maybe your nervous system feels quieter. Maybe your mind feels quieter. Maybe you feel a little sleepy. Maybe the brain finally stopped mentally commuting, even though your body may have gotten to where you were going some hours ago. And that matters. All of those little changes are important. That's what we're here for. Now take one more easy breath here. Allow your body to feel supported instead of productive, even if it's just for a few moments. These little moments where we choose ourselves and we intentionally make time to rest and recover are so important for our overall well-being and our success. Notice again, how does the body feel? Maybe scan from head to toe. Do you feel any tension in your jaw? How does that compare to what it was when you arrived? What about your hips? How do they feel? Shoulders? Are they maybe not so close to your ears now? Does your chest feel a little more open and a little less hunched over? Maybe the mind feels less busy and maybe it doesn't. Maybe you simply gave yourself a transition moment instead of carrying your entire day today into tomorrow. And that's enough too. Allow the face to soften naturally, unfurrow the brow, and clench the jaw. Take a moment to notice how you feel overall, and thank yourself for showing up today. That's the end of this practice. Thank you so much for sharing a part of your day with me. I'll see you next time.